You already have seen a couple of Nova builds in this channel. Most of the time, I'm showing you fun and solo-oriented builds that allow Nova to tank, survive, crowd control, and even nuke a group of enemies. The very basic build I have for Nova is a molecular fission slow Nova. To use this build, you will need max duration to get the 90% damage reduction from Null Star, and you will need to constantly kill targets to refresh the depleted Null Star charges. Overall, this build is pretty decent, but honestly, some players will hate you for bringing this kind of setup in missions wherein you will need fast kill speed. This is why I always just use this in solo plays. There are other builds that I have with Nova, and one is with the Necro's subsume ability. This is just for fun, but it's satisfying to see enemies walk very slow. But like I've said, I rarely use this kind of setup in team composition. I play these types of builds solo, but honestly, I can't say that these are perfect builds. With a max duration, you will sacrifice range. This might be good for Null Star, since slower range allows you to conserve the charges efficiently, but I'm still not satisfied with the 90% damage reduction. This is just my opinion though, as I prefer a speed Nova in almost all missions except for those which will task you to defend an objective. You can do a mix of molecular fission speed Nova, but it would be bad in a real mission since you will need to give the build overextended to lower the power strength. The range will give extra reach to Null Star, which will make it deplete faster. Instead of this build, I opted out to just become a neutral Nova which has 0% slow percentage in her molecular prime. You can achieve this by just adding power donation in the aura mod slot, and you can't use either slow or speed of molecular prime. Instead, you will be happy with the damage buff that your fourth ability will give. However, I'm not happy with it, and I just want a speed Nova that can survive the onslaught of octane-infused Grineers. My basic speed Nova looks like this, but as you can tell, there's no way that Null Star can help with survivability. It will just be a liability since the 90% damage reduction is not maintainable. So, is there any way to build a speed Nova with great survivability? There is, and it's in your orbiter. We will be asking the help of the Helminth system, and for this setup, we will be using Octavia's Resonator. Honestly speaking, Resonator is the perfect fit for Nova since it doesn't sacrifice anything in your build unless you are using her Conductor Augment. We will talk about that later, and how to deal with this con. But for now, let me tell you the benefits of Resonator. First of all, Resonator won't mess up anything no matter how you build your Nova, whether it's a speed or slow build. Resonator will always be great for this Warframe. It's because the only important stat that it scales will be range. We don't need its damage, but only the aggro utility of this ability. By the way, I would like to give a piece of very important information about this ability. New players are kind of confused about what exactly the minutes and max charm radius feature for this ability do. Here's how it works. The minutes charm radius tells you about the initial radius on how far the ability can lure enemies. In this case, I have an initial 15 meters lure radius, and this increases as the Resonator lure enemies up until it reached the maximum lure radius of 39 meters. So basically, the more enemies that the ball aggro, the more lure radius it gains until it reaches its maximum lure radius. Just like I've said, Resonator can be used at either speed or slow Nova build. For a speed build, all I did is put both power donation and overextended. With this Resonator build, I can fully take advantage of speed Nova without having any troubles in survivability. Once Resonator is out, it will just lure enemies and totally ignore my Nova. But then again, Resonator has a timer, so I did add Rolling Guard to have that 3 seconds invulnerability to recast Resonator again. The beauty of this is that, you will now be able to use Nova in almost every mission that require kill speed, and missions wherein you need enemies to get into the scene so you can kill them faster. What's more impressive about this is you can also use her other abilities like Wormhole for teleport and tactical advantage once you decide to shoot through this ability. This is the perfect farming build for Nova I have so far. You will be able to use this in both solo and team missions, and it's best to utilize it in missions like defense. A good example is if you are doing defense in Hydron, or you are farming prime parts in a defense fisher mission. This Nova build will allow you to finish each wave faster, without getting into trouble of exposing allies, yourself, and the defense target to enemy fire. The same goes with a survival mission or any mission which requires kill speed. Because of Nova's molecular prime making the enemies move faster, you will also make this mode a lot easier as the faster you kill enemies, the more chances you'll get of dropping life support capsules needed. This is also great in those missions wherein a team needs a speed nova, like the mission in Ophelia wherein most people farm it for condition overload mod and other resources needed for building stuff in the game. It's also good in infested excavation missions wherein most people farm stuff like endo in arbitration mission, excavation mission, or even relics in Arakan in Pluto. And most likely, this will be great in interception missions since fast-moving enemies will just follow the resonator once you drop it near them and it will lure them for the rest of the duration. I was kind of hesitant first in adding conductor in this speed nova build, since the negative power strength lowers the speed of the resonator traveling from point A to point B. However, there's a way to bypass this. When you already pointed the ball into a specific location, you can just hold the ability to relinquish your command, and the ball will start moving on its own again, luring enemies nearby. Once it gets the maximum lure radius, it will be able to lock down enemies in a room effectively. They won't try to damage you, your allies, and even the defense objective. But again, take note that not all enemies in the game can be lured by Octavia's resonator. There are a couple of exemptions like bosses, demolished units, corpus ambulars, and more. If you already have scanned almost all enemies in the game, then you can test them out in the testing room which enemies can't be lured by resonator. Before we end this video, I would like to also give a fair warning about using this speed nova build in open areas. It's okay to use this against infested enemies in open world areas. However, I wouldn't advise a speed nova build against those enemies who have range attacks like the Corpus and Grineers. It's still better to have someone defend the target like Limbo's Cataclysm, or Frost's Snow Globe, since resonator would need a couple of seconds to lure all enemies present in the field. Also, giving speed boost to enemies will be chaotic since some of them who are not yet lured by resonator will get into firing range easily, and they could kill you or even destroy the defense target. Anyway, most open areas are composed of missions wherein you will defend something and won't require you to kill enemies as fast as possible. Subsuming resonator in your nova won't be put to waste since you can also combo this with a slow build just like what I've said earlier. All you need to do is give your nova a 150% power strength, 235% range, and 128% duration to help you out in certain open world missions like bounty missions in the 3 open world areas of the game. You don't just get slow and aggro control in this build, but you will also able to use wormhole for mobility, and antimatter drop for nuking a group of enemies. If you can, then you can add conductor in this build by adding Warframe in the Exilus mod slot, and using the steel charge aura mod. This will allow you to place resonator anywhere you want, but so far, I don't have any problem with this build with no conductor since enemies are slowed, and resonator can lure enemies faster with their current slow state. Most likely, the resonator can have the maximum charm radius faster than the speed nova build I have shown to you earlier. But then again, that speed nova build has more uses in terms of farming and team composition. I hope that you enjoyed this video as I did have fun creating this nova combo. I hope that I included all the information regarding the combo in this video. Sometimes, I can't reply in the comment section because of how busy I am in real life as a parent and grinding the game to give you content. Also, I'm having this issue right now with my internet provider giving a slower internet connection compared to my past issues. I'm always having this strict NAT problem in the game and there are times wherein I can't connect to chat. They did say that it's because I'm using an old modem, and the signal in my area doesn't offer an IPv6 connection. I'm currently doing my best to fix these problems and I hope you understand my current situation. I know it's kind of weird having a channel with over 168k strong subscribers, but not having a good internet connection. The thing is, we are located far from city limits and there's only one tower that caters to a wide internet subscriber in the area. If I want a better connection, then we have to move to the city, which we can't right now because of financial reasons. Long story short, we can't do that right now because we don't have enough money to buy or rent in city limits. And honestly, I'm more of a guy who loves to live in rural community because there's no buzzing traffic, fresh air, and it's peaceful compared to the city. Another ISP subscriber is coming to our country, and they are promising wide coverage even to rural areas like mine. So, I'm planning to change ISP and hoping that my internet would be faster. I know this doesn't have to be in this video, but I would just like you guys to know that I'm doing my best to provide content for you guys without sacrificing anything in my personal life. So, I hope that you understand and still enjoying the content I'm providing. Thank you all for your love and support. I will see you in my next video. God bless and good day. Squad leader signing off.
Evolution. This is the future.